Today we're going to be making tumblers or bag pots. You get to decide. This one is the bag pot and this one is the tumbler. It's kind of like a cup. We're going to be playing around with different textures, so that's kind of the main purpose of this project. With the red clay, the glazes tend to have more special effects with the textures that play around with it. So like in this one, it has kind of the blue green shade in there plus the brown on the outside. So that's why the main reason we're going to do this project. We have lots of different texture plates to choose from. I have some of these. I have a roller. I also have lots of these that were made by students. Other different types of textures, and I'll be showing you kind of what some of those can do. And you'll be doing this all along the whatever's going to be the outside of your clay. So you could do like a whole roll of that. I also have this one's kind of wood texture. We have some of these. This one has circles on there. So if I was to do that one, you're going to roll out your clay and then you'll do your texture plate. So there's some circles on there. You could also take one of these dowel rods and kind of play around with the different circles in there. Oop, don't go all the way through. But the more texture-y parts in there you have, the cooler this thing's going to be when it's all done. So I have some of those. Ooh, don't do that. I also have some of these. It's the like for kitchen shelving. You can push down on that. This has kind of a neat texture to it. That's what this one was. You can also use the roller on top of it if you want to. These are big enough you could do that. Okay, so you're gonna get your clay all rolled out. I'm gonna move these out of the way for you. We want these to be 1 tile thick. So I've already rolled this out. So you'll wedge it and then you'll roll your clay out. I'm gonna show you the tumbler first. The tumbler, we want it to be about 2 tiles high. It doesn't need to be exact, but about. So I have that. And I do like this rough edge that I have going on out here. And we're gonna leave that rough, so you're gonna get some more texture on there. So I'm just gonna measure out about 2. And I'm also gonna leave one side rough, but I'm gonna cut this other one straight across. And it's a little bit long. I like what I have at the bottom, so I'm gonna cut that off. Okay, so I have this. And I'm going to, let's use the roller. We're gonna roll this across, pressing kind of hard so you get a nice amount on there. And if it runs off down here, just find a place to put it back on. Okay, so we have that. You're gonna save this bottom piece because we're gonna need this as well. You're gonna slip and score. So I have my slip, make sure you have the right color slip. I'm gonna turn this over. What's gonna happen is this is gonna be my front. So this whole rough side will be the front, and I'm also gonna slip and score the bottom. So save this extra piece, that's gonna be your base. So I'm gonna slip and score where this came from. Oh. That side is gonna meet up with this side. Then I'm gonna add my slip. You can be pretty generous with your slip. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, put those guys together there. And then I'm gonna decide what the shape is. You can make it more circular. I might make this one kind of ovally. I like that for pencils. And just around the outside, you can use a needle if you want to kind of trace it and then cut it. Or you could just go ahead and cut it with the knife as well. So I traced it. And it might be easier to put your name on the bottom before you attach this, possibly. So you might want to think about that. So I have that cut out. I put my name on the back. I like to put the year on there too, so you might think about that. Now I'm going to slip and score this whole thing. Oop. and the bottom of the other side. So I'm going to do this as well. Do this really well. I'm going kind of fast for the demo. And then flip. And then put that on there. Make sure those line up. On this particular pot, I'm not going to smooth them out. I'm actually just going to kind of roll it like this to help seal that on there. Make sure on the inside, and you kind of just roll it. That way it's going to have this rough seal on the bottom, which is kind of nice sometimes. Okay, and the top might crack, and that's okay because you're going to get some glaze in there, and that'll show the texture. So that's how you do the tumbler. And you could do a smaller one if you want. I did 2 little ones like this if you want to do something like that. Then I'll show you the bag pot. Bag pot, you want to aim to have a long skinny piece. So if while you're rolling out your clay and it kind of goes wonky, just cut that off and then keep rolling. You'll still have that rough edge. We're going to kind of plan where this is going to go. So with the bag pot, you're just going to be slipping and scoring the sides and leaving open the top. So I'm going to, I think, cut this just a little bit. I might give it a roll just to rough it up a little. You can play around with these little guys. Do some fun textures on there. You could even go this way if you want. You could switch it up. There's a couple of different ones. Okay, but try those different things. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to slip and score this whole thing besides the top. And you can kind of decide where you want the opening to be. Okay, I'm going to slip and score this whole thing. For the video, I'm not going to do every single thing because I'm not going to save this, but you need to be sure to add lots of slip and score everything. So as we close this up, I'm making sure that there's some type of base, and we're just going to pinch it up. So my texture would be on the outside, and you're just going to close everything just like that, and it's going to be a rough pinched edge. And again, this could be, you could do a couple of small ones if you want to. You could do one of each if you want. But either way, because it's a bag, it's going to have some type of opening. So this is what it looks like from the side. And you can have this kind of open this way if you want to smooth it or kind of guide it where to go. Okay. Fix up your edges so this looks nice up here, but make sure your name goes on the bottom. First and last, please, on all of those, okay? So then this would have texture on the outside. So when you're done, you'll have these that I showed you at the beginning, okay?